So we are towards the end of Canto 3. Ashwapati has told something very important, something very significant, something what the poet says beyond time. And it is that word which has entered into the soul of Savitri, and the entire course of her life is going to change with that word. Let us read from 98.54. Ashwapati is telling to his daughter, ascend from nature to divinity's heights, face the high gods, crowned with felicity, then meet a greater God, thyself beyond time. Thyself beyond time. That already speaks of the divine Savitri who has taken as Ashwapati's daughter, Savitri. Ashwapati is a yogi, and when he sees her, even in the human form, he knows that she is someone who has come from beyond time, from the timeless. And the word he has spoken was to find a mate for herself, one in the beats of difference and delight, responsive in divine and equal strains, discovering new notes of the eternal theme. One force shall be your mover and your guide. One light shall be around you, and within hand in strong hand confront heaven's question live, challenge the ordeal of the immense disguise. So Ashwapati as a yogi is also aware of the mission with which Savitri has come. She has to challenge the ordeal of the immense disguise. Immense disguise, of course, stands for the divine himself, who has put on through a certain process the form of death. She has to challenge, Savitri has to challenge death. And then, of course, that is possible only when she ascends from nature to divinity's heights. This world was seed of all the things to be. This is itself a wonderful line, very powerful line, almost a mantric line. And see the impact of that line. It is a monosyllabic line. The world was seed of all the things to be. Just the rhythm of that line. The world was seed of all the things to be. That is the perfect iambic pentameter. When you also lay stress on B, which is required here. This world was seed of all the things to be. In fact, it is this word which is now going to be described in great detail as mantra, the power by which things can change. A hand from some greatness opened her heart's locked doors and showed the work for which her strength was born. That was the word spoken by Yogi Ashwapati. As when the mantra sings in yoga's ear, its message enters stirring the blind brain and keeps in the dim, ignorant self this sound. The hearer understands a form of words and, musing on the index thought it holds, he strives to read it with laboring mind, but finds bright hints, not the embodied truth. Then, falling silent in himself to know, he meets the deeper listening of his soul. The world repeats itself in rhythmic strains. Thought, vision, feeling, sense, the body is the self as sees unalterably, and he endures an ecstasy and an immortal change. He feels a wideness and becomes a power. All knowledge rushes on him like a sea. Transmuted by the white spiritual ray, he walks in naked heavens of joy and calm. Sees the God face and hears transcendent speech. An equal greatness in her life was shown. We'll take this passage again in more detail, but let us continue the narrative. Accustomed scenes were now an ended play. What is the effect of that mantra, or the word which was spoken by Ashwapati to Savitri? That all that was sort of natural, common, usual, that whole accustomed scene has undergone a total difference now. It has changed totally. Accustomed scenes are now an ended play, moving in muse amid familiar powers. Touched by new magnitudes and fairy signs, she turned to vastnesses not yet her own. Already a change has taken place in Savitri. She has turned to vastnesses which she did not have until now. Allured her heart throbbed to unknown sweetnesses. The secrets of an unseen world were closed. Secrets of an unseen world were closed. Of course, the secrets of love, the secrets of life, the secrets of greater glory, the secrets of new life which is to be born here. The secrets of an unseen world were closed. Also, it means in the immediate context, unseen world, Savitri was living in the palace as a princess. She would not move out and go to the wide world and see different lands and different kingdoms and different places. So those secrets were now closed to Savitri. She would go and see all those lands and forests and trees and kingdoms. The morn went up into a smiling sky. Cast from its sapphire pinnacle of trance, day sank into the burning gold of eve. So that is the description of the whole day. Savitri must have heard this command, this instruction, this word from her father in the morning. And therefore the morn went up into a smiling sky. Suddenly the whole sky has become bright to her because she has to seek love. Into a smiling sky, cast from its sapphire pinnacle of trance, day sank into the burning gold of eve. The moon floated a luminous wave through heaven and sank below the oblivious edge of dream. Night did the watchfires of eternity. Now this is the whole description from morning till night, almost till the next morning, you see. Night lit the watchfires of eternity. It means that the stars are coming out in the sky. Watchfires, these are the stars watching, guarding the pathways in the night. Night lit the watchfires of eternity. Then all went back into mind's secret caves. Because it is night now, she is going to fall asleep. So everything is going to be withdrawn into sleep. Then all went back into mind's secret cave, a darkness stooping on the heaven birds of wings. So Savitri, the heaven bird, on her wings, the darkness is going to stoop, fall actually. In other words, the way the birds go to their homing trees in the night and the darkness falls on their wings, it is in that manner Savitri is entering into the darkness. A darkness stooping on the heaven birds of wings, sealed in her senses from external sight. So all the outward senses, perceptions, they have been withdrawn into sleep and opened the stupendous depths of sleep. So that is how Savitri sleeps the night after receiving the command. It is as if to assimilate the word in the depth of her soul. It is to give time to gather the force which has been put by her father into it, the force in the peace of the night. It is in the peace of the night, it is that force which will work. And open the stupendous depths of sleep when the pale dawn, now what happens in the morning? When the pale dawn slipped through night's shadowy guard, again the shadowy guard, those stars, which were lit by night early in the evening. When the pale dawn slipped through night's shadowy guard, verily the newborn light desired her face. Newborn light, the early morning, daybreak. It was looking for Savitri in the palace, but she is not there now anymore. Vainly the newborn light desired her face. The palace woke to its own emptiness because their beloved is not there. The palace woke to its own emptiness. The sovereign of his daily joy was far. She has already taken the chariot and gone into the wilderness. The palace woke to its own emptiness. The sovereign of his daily joys was far. Her moonbeam feet tinged not the lucent floors. So the palace floors, bright with mosaic, with lapis lazuli, whatever precious stones are there laid with that palace floor does not feel now the touch of her feet. The moonbeam feet tinged not the lucent floor. The beauty and divinity were gone. She has gone out of the palace. Delight had fled to search the spacious world. That is sheer poetry, see. Sheer poetry. The way in which he is describing it so elaborately. It is most sweet, most lyrical, most enchanting, most gripping also, and at the same time most meaningful in all its descriptions, with significances and connotations giving different shades constantly. The beauty and divinity were gone. Delight had fled to search the spacious world, the wide world. And of course, the next line, next canto opens, the world was open before Savitri. She has gone out of the palace, now the whole wide world is now ahead of her. All the ways, from place to place, from kingdom to kingdom, from realm to realm, from country to country, she is going to travel. The world way is open before Savitri. Now let us go back to our difficult sentence 98.57, the mantra is there, and this is one of the most important passages in Savitri.
Yes.
It is not very long, 98.57, as when the mantra sings in yoga's ear. Now, he gives you here in the form of a simile. The way in which the mantra sings in the ear of yoga. So it is not an ordinary ear, yoga's ear. It is an occult ear. In other words, it is that mantra is going to effectuate what it contains. It has a power, it has a force to bring into realization the power which it carries. That is the whole idea of the description. As when the mantra sings in yoga here. Now, there are a lot of things about mantra. So, actually, we are going to see various aspects of mantra. I made a very quick summary here, and the difference between good poetry, even high-class poetry, even very fine poetry, and the mantra is important to understand. Now, one can have great spiritual experiences and write great poetry also because of spiritual experiences. One can cross the occult ranges. One can write devotional poems, which are very rich, very lyrical, and in fact we have devotional poems in all literature. The Indian literature is full of them, devotional songs. Even the Christian lyricism of the hymns is very powerful, very sweet, very enchanting, you see. It's very, very beautiful, you see, that way. But still, that does not constitute a mantra, is what I'm trying to say. One can write religious compositions, express metaphysical high thoughts in poetry. They may be very powerful lines also. Still, mantra is something different. Be fully adoring with emotional lyricism. One can have poetry of Keats, of Shelley, of lyrical type and all that. Still, that does not go close enough to the mantra. But this can be far away from the mantric world. And in the course of writing mantra or in the course of getting mantra, nothing matters, nothing counts. Neither the poetic intelligence, nor the creative insight, nor any rich, opulent, aesthetic sense, deeper and genuine perceptions, nothing counts. Swift and luminous intuition of things, you can see certain things, but still they do not really convey mantra, you see. Yet the vision and language and rhythm of the mantra may be lacking in all these poetic creations. They may be very high-class poetry. Direct and experienced awareness of the mysterious and the divinely haunting, a living contact with the reality, that is what would sustain a mantra. One sustained example is, of course, the Rigveda. All those 10,000 hymns in the Rigveda, they are all mantric, full power, on a vast scale, and of course Savitri is there. Now, about Savitri, let me tell you one more thing, that Savitri is of course mantric, but it is not mantra throughout. It is also a narrative. It is also a narrative. The rhythm is of a different type, the power is of a different type, the meaning is of a different type. So don't say that all the 24,000 lines of Savitri are mantra in that sense. There are narrative lines, and we have to make a distinction between the narrative lines and the mantric lines. See, for instance, the very opening line, it was the hour before the gods awake. It's a narrative, it is a description, it is trying to introduce a certain subject. It is not mantra. But whereas there are lines which are absolutely mantric, and long passages are there which are full of mantric power in them, mantric revelation there. So you have to make a distinction even in Savitri that it is after all an epic narrative, and in the course of the epic narrative you have the narrative descriptions. And you have also then, for instance, the passage which you are reading is mantric passage, which is different than what you have elsewhere, you see. We can see the difference already here. See, for instance, now you take, we have read now this thing. He walks in naked heavens, joy and calm, see the God face and hears transcendent speech. And then accustomed scenes are now an ended play. The accustomed scenes now were an ended play. It is not mantik, it is a narrative. It is carrying the story forward. We have to make a distinction between these two already, you see. Now, so we in our misplaced enthusiasm say that the whole of Savitri is mantric. It is not that way. You have to make a distinction. It is poetry, high class poetry. It is throughout, of course, overhead poetry. There is no doubt about that thing. It has the rhythm of what Shivendra calls the overhead poetry. And we'll see those things sometimes here. Now, what happens in the case of a person, yogi particularly, when he is in deep trance, he is oftentimes led by a mysterious sound. And we have a very beautiful description of the mysterious sounds in Canto 14 of second book. The world soul. The world soul. Let us say 75.7. A murmur, multitudinous and low, all sounds it was, yet still the same. You got it? 75.7? And then there is a whole description of various sounds, the cricket sound, the sound of the caravan, the sound of the sea waves, the anthem, the whole long description is there, going to about bee crew, the tinkling pace of a long caravan. So these are the kind of sound the yogi hears in his trance. He is conducted to the birthplace of the rhythmic sound itself, the yogi. Nada Brahma, that is what is called the Nada Brahma. He hears the sound of Brahma himself, Nada Brahma, which is the origin and source Shabda Yoni, the womb of the world. Shabda Yoni means womb of the world, of this harmony. There are the inaudible voices, but the yogin is perfectly at home with all the voices. His Shali, led by the mysterious sound, seizes in the shape of a bird that sound. When he describes the skylark, he is seizing that sound in the shape of a bird. The spirit of the light, whose race must begin, takes a body to sing unbidden hymns. Now, in the Rig Veda, in the very first mandala itself, there is the description of what is called the mantra in Agastya's hymn. And the hymn is addressed to Indra, to Maruta. And he says, lo, the hymn of affirmation I want to establish. Lo, the hymn of affirmation, O Maruts. It is fraught with my obeisance. It is full of my offering to you. It was framed by the heart. That prayer, that offering is framed by the heart. It was established by the mind. O ye gods, approach these my words and embrace them with the mind. For of submission are you the increases. When I am offering you, you will increase all my possibilities, all my capabilities, and therefore I am offering this worship to you. Now, how the word comes? It is framed by the heart, and confirmed, established by the mind. Prayed by the heart and confirmed or established by the mind. Hrida Tasthana Manasa Dhyayi. Hrida Tasthana. Hrida means Hridaya, heart. Tasthana, established. And Manasa, mind. Dhyayi, formed of. The earliest recorded theory of the creative world. That is the theory of mantra. Mantra is that word which is received by the heart and confirmed by the mind. It comes directly to the heart and then confirmed by the mind. In the system of the mystics, the word is power. Now actually, in the Vedic meters, there are a number of meters. Anushtuva, Trishtuva, Jagati, Gayatri. These are the meters of the Vedic poetry. Basically, these are the most common meters of the Vedic poetry. Anushtuva, Trishtuva, Jagati and Gayatri. And these meters carry in them the moments of the truth. These meters themselves. Actually, their origin is in the transcendence of these meters. And they swing with the rhythms of the truth itself. What is called in Sanskrit rhythm. They are established on the dynamical aspects of truth, rhythm. And it is that truth which expresses itself in terms of metrical language like Anushtuva, Trishtuva, Jagati or Gayatri. The mantra is not in its essential part a creation of the intellect. It is actually there and it is that we have to receive rather. It must have come as an inspiration from the supramental plane. That is what these meters are. Anushtuva, Trishtuva, Jagati, Gayatri. They are the moments in the supramental plane. The mantra is a word of power and light that comes from the overmind. This is what Shabno writes in one of his letters. It is the word which comes from the overmind. Its characteristics are a language that conveys more than the mere surface sense of the words. It is something more than the common meaning of the words. A rhythm that means even more than the language. In fact, that is the entire crux of the matter. Is born out of the infinite and disappears into infinite. It comes from infinite like a wave and disappears into the infinite. It has the power to convey not merely the mental, the vital, the physical contents or values of things, but its significance and figure in some fundamental and original consciousness. The body of the mantric sound becomes a chariot, Chandra Ratha. That is the description we have in Vamadeva's hymn in the Rig Veda. He calls it Chandra Ratha, happy chariot. Mantra is a happy chariot. Chandra stands for happiness, felicitous. And it is that happy chariot in which he is moving from plane to plane up there. The body of the mantric sound becomes a chariot for accomplishment in the triple glory of truth, conscious awareness of delight. Triple glory of Satchidananda. It is that Satchidananda glory in it that the mantra achieves, establishes all its powers and qualities. The receiver of the word, the listener of the transcendent speech, this is what we got transcendent speech here. Paravani. Here he calls transcendent speech. Transcendent speech is Paravani. 98.57, we got Paravani, you see. That is the transcendent speech. Awakes to its reality. A transmutation gets effected. The power of the mantra is it brings about a total change in one. Knowledge and power become the instruments in the working of the spirit. Mantra is the highest intensest revealing form of poetic thought and expression. It envisions inmost truths of God and self and man and nature and cosmos and life and thing and thought and experience and deed. So it has a complete suite of all the experiences and realizations in it. It is a thinking that comes on the wings of great soul rhythm. Chandas, that is what chanda means. Movement, rhythm. The seeing not separated from the hearing. See, this is the important thing. What you see, that also hear. The faculty of sight and sound become one in mantra. When mantra is uttered, you hear the sound, but you also see the picture behind it. So that is the power the mantra has. Mantra is the voice of the inmost truth, couched the highest power of the very rhythm and speech of that truth. The mantra is the supreme rhythmic language which seizes hold upon all that is finite and brings into each the light and voice of the infinite. It is what, in fact, that is another word, and there is a hymn addressed to what in the Rigveda. It is the superconscious nature force, Shakti, what? The goddess of creative speech. Tantric psychists belonging to the school of Tantra, the practitioners of Tantra, suppose that power acts in us through different subtle nervous centers of our body. In our subtle body, Sukshma Deha, there are different centers, and it is that speech which acts through those subtle centers all along here. Thus the word has a graduation of its expressive power of truth and word. The Tantric classification describes 4 grades of speech. Paschanti is one. Paschanti, the seeing the word, as a description of the degree of that power. So basically, Paschanti Vak is what is seen, and that is why the poet is also called the seer poet, who sees the thing. In fact, according to the Tantric theory, there are 4 types of speech. The common speech which we hear, which we employ in all our communication, is called Vaikhari. Vaikhari. The next is Madhyama, the intermediate between the Vaikhari and the higher. Above Madhyama is Paschanti. And beyond Paschanti is Para. So we have got Vaikhari, Madhyama, Paschanti and Para. So these are the 4 speeches which are common. Actually, we can say that Vaikhari belongs to the physical plane. Madhyama, which is an intermediary between Vaikhari and Paschanti, belongs to the vital plane. Paschanti belongs to the spiritual plane, over mind plane. Paschanti belongs to our mind plane. And beyond Paschanti is Paravani. The overmind gods speak among themselves in Paschanti language. The transcendental gods, they move the rhythms of Anushtuva, Trishtuva, Jagati, in all those moments, and they speak in the transcendental language. Actually, there is a little description. When Durga used to visit the mother, she was visiting her regularly for several years around Durga Puja in the month of October. Regularly she would come and visit the mother. And they used to talk to each other. In fact, she used to stay with the mother for a couple of days at times. You see. And then, of course, they used to talk. The mother says, of course, we didn't speak in French. We didn't speak in French. Our language was a different language. It is Paschanti Vak, in which we are communicating with each other. You see. So it is that. Actually, the common notion is the gods among themselves speak in what the protagonists of Sanskrit say. They speak in Deva Bhasha. It is the language of the gods. Sanskrit is the language of the gods. And they communicate with each other in Sanskrit, Deva Bhasha. So it is that language which has the power to communicate simultaneously the sight, the sound, and the contents. All the three things are present there simultaneously. In fact, the best description of the word is threefold: sight, sound, substance. Sight, sound, substance. All the three things, when they are fully present, then that word becomes the mantric word. Then that when all the three things are fused into each other, sight, sound, and substance, the contents, what it means, what we call it, when these things are present, then it becomes mantra. Our mind touch consists in the undertones or overtones of the rhythmic cry. There are sometimes the voice goes down, sometimes it goes up. They're called the undertones and overtones of the thing. Mantra is a word of power. This is what Sri Aurobindo has written in one of his letters. The mantra is a word of power and light that comes from the overmind inspiration or from some very high plane of intuition. That is the origin of mantra. Its characteristics are language that conveys infinitely more than the mere surface sense of the words seem to indicate. A rhythm that means even more the language and is born out of the infinite and disappears into it. And the power to convey not merely the mental, vital or physical contents or indications or values of the thing uttered, its significance and figure in some fundamental and original consciousness which is behind all these grades. Now, there are three elements of high quality poetry. There is the original source of inspiration. There is the vital force of creative beauty. There is the transmitting power of outer consciousness. When all these things come out together, then is really born the true poetry. Now, Sri Aurobindo describes in great detail what he calls the overhead planes above the mind. In fact, he classifies them into 4 levels. The lowest is higher mind, then comes the illumined mind, then comes intuition, and above intuition is overmind. These are the planes from where high, genuine spiritual inspiration can come. And the highest coming from the overmind, it is that which carries the mantric power in it, from the overmind inspiration. The intuition is usually a lightning flash. He has given all the description. In fact, let me read that thing. The overmind thinks in a mass. His thought, feeling, vision is high or deep or wide or all these things together. Sometimes there comes down a supreme voice, the overmind voice, and overmind music. The higher thought, the higher mind, the higher thought has a strong trait, often with bare, unsandaled feet, and moves in a clear-cut light. A divine power, measure, dignity is its most frequent character. The outflow of the element mind comes in a flood, brilliant with revealing words or a light of crowding images, sometimes such as with his burden of revelation, sometimes with a luminous sweep. Intuition is usually a lightning flash showing up a single spot or plot of ground or scene with an entire miraculous completeness of vision to the surprise ecstasy of the inner ear. Its rhythm has a decisive, inevitable sound which leaves nothing essential unheard, but very calmly is embodied in a single stroke. Now, these are the spiritual ranges in Savitri. They have been described in great detail in Book 10, Canto 4. Savitri is explaining to depth the hierarchy of the spiritual planes, starting from higher mind, illumined mind, intuition, lower mind, and then beyond that, truth. So these are the descriptions. We can read them separately later on. I will just skip the reading. On Soviet mind, the radiant altitudes. These are the radiant altitudes, what he calls the overmind planes, you see, overhead planes, you see. And from those overhead planes, the inspiration can come to the yogic poetry. Thought, truth. In fact, these are the passages from Life Divine and from Savitri. Truth sight, vast of vision, truth force, intuitions, lightnings, overmind. This is the description from Life Divine. At the source of this intuition, we discover a superconscious cosmic mind in direct contact with the supramental truth consciousness. An overmind that covers as with the wide wings of some creative oversoul this whole lower hemisphere of knowledge ignorance. Links it with a greater truth consciousness while yet at the same time with its brilliant golden lit, it will face the greater truth from our side. This is the occult link. This is the power that at once connects and divides the supreme knowledge and the cosmic ignorance. That is the role of our mind. And it is from there the mantric word comes to see. Here, of course, he talks the golden lit, Hiranmaya Patrena, that is the phrase on the Isha Upanishad, golden lit. It is the golden lit, it is that which covers the face of the sun. This is a passage from Savitri. Ranges and ranges of overhead planes. I will just skip them at the moment. Empire over mind. The description from Savitri. The triple fusion in poetry therefore has to be of rhythmic movement, of thought substance, and shows vision of truth. Rhythmic, that is the sound part of it. Thoughts, that is the substance part of it. Vision, that is the eye, ear, and substance. Well, it is not only the power of inspiration, but also the faculty of hearing, the occult ear. It is some inner ear which hears all those sounds. What the Upanishads say, the ear behind the ear, the mind behind the mind, the eye behind the eye. It is that which sees things in its trueness. What determines the sense of hearing is a sensitive ear, the occult, the inner ear, which in the stillness listens to the deeper and subtler contents of the sounds of the word, to its quiet dhvani. What it listens to the dhvani, the echo sort of thing. It is the deep secret voice that speaks out through it bringing knowledge of the excellent things to us who can receive it. In terms of the sound, the three ways in which a syllable may differ are quantity, emphasis, and stress. Now the mother speaks of the mantra in one of our conversations. Nobody can give you the true mantra. She is forthright. Nobody can give you the true mantra. Om Tat Savitur Varam Rupam Jyoti Parasya Dhimahi Yanna Satyena Deepayet. That is the first mantra. But we are uttering the mantra. The mantra will carry its true power when the realized teacher, guru, yogi gives it to the ready soul. When the realized guru gives that mantra to a ready student, then only it becomes dynamically active. Otherwise, you are uttering. Okay, it is so, they say it all right. Nobody can give the true mantra. It's not something that is given. It's something that wells up from within. It must spring from within all of a sudden, spontaneously, like a profound, intense need of your being. Then it has power, because it's not something that comes from outside. It's your very own cry, your very own cry. This is important thing. I saw in my case that my mantra had a power of immortality. What she has received, the mother, she saw that it has a power of immortality. Whatever happens, if it is uttered, it is supreme, that has the power, and that has the upper hand. It's no longer the lower law. And the words are irrelevant. They may not have any meaning to someone else. My mantra is meaningless, but to me it's full, packed with meaning and effective, because it's my cry, the intense aspiration of my whole being. What it means is that we have to receive our own mantra. We have to prepare ourselves, the mantra which is seated in our soul. It is that mantra which we have to receive. A mantra given by a guru is only the power to realize the experience of the discoverer of the mantra. The power is automatically there because the sound contains the experience. I saw that once in Paris at a time when I knew nothing of India, absolutely nothing, only the usual nonsense. I didn't even know what a mantra was. I had gone to a lecture. All at once, in the course of his lecture, he uttered the word, "Oh." And I saw the entire room suddenly filled with light, a golden vibrating light. I was probably the only one to notice it. One does not know whether even the lecturer himself noticed it when he uttered the word "Om." I said to myself, well, then I didn't give it any more thought. I forgot about the story. But as it happened, the experience occurred in 2 or 3 different countries with different people, and every time there was a sound, "Oh," I would suddenly see the place filled with that same light. The sound contains the vibration of thousands and thousands of years of spiritual aspiration. The sound contains the vibration of thousands and thousands years of spiritual aspiration. There is in it the entire aspiration of men toward the Supreme. And the power is automatically there because the experience is there. The yogi who has given that, he has put his power in it because the experience is there. This is on 11th May 1963. Now there is a fairly elaborate description of the power of mantra by John Woodruff in his work on Shakti and Shakta. He was a tantric and very authentic person who had intimate relationship with tantric knowledge, experiences with tantric knowledge. Sri Aurobindo has given very high praise to him. A mantra is not the same thing as prayer or self-dedication, Atma Nivedana. It is not Atma Nivedana. Prayer is only that mantra in which the Devata has revealed his or her particular aspect can reveal that aspect. If you are describing a goddess or god in a certain fashion, in a certain quality, it is that aspect which is revealed by the mantra. When you say, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matra Rupena Samsthita. The moment you say Matra Rupena Samsthita, it is the power of the mother which is now put in that mantra. The reactions of the letters Varna, whether vowel or consonant, Nada and Bindu in a mantra indicate the appearance of Devata in different forms. Certain vibhuti or aspects of the Devata are inherent in certain varna, but perfect Shakti does not appear in any but a whole mantra. All letters are forms of the Shabda Brahman. Shabda Brahman, Brahman himself, God himself as eternal, but only particular combinations of letters are particular form. Just as the name of a particular being is made up of a certain letter and not of any indiscriminately. The whole universe is Shakti, force, the divine consciousness force. The gross letter sound is a manifestation of sound in a more subtle form. Mantras are manifestations of Kundalini, the serpent force. Mantras are manifestations of Kundalini, which is a name for the Shabda Brahman or Saguna Brahman in individual bodies. Shabda originates and being first para, the transcendent, gradually manifests upwards as Paschanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari, just as in outer space. Waves of sound are produced by movements of air, Vayu. So in the space within the Jiva's body, waves of sound are said to be produced according to the movements of the vital air, Prana Vayu, and the process of it and breathing. And then he says, as the Swarupa of Kundalini, the form of the serpent force, is Paramatma, so the substance of the mantra, her manifestation as letters and words. In fact, the letters of the alphabet, which are called Akshara, are nothing but the yantra of the Akshara or imperishable Brahman. Akshara Brahman, imperishable, eternal. Kundalini, the serpent force, who is extremely subtle, manifests in gross sthula, in differing aspects as different devatas, goddesses. It is this gross form which is the presiding deity, Adhishtatri Devata of a mantra. Though it is the subtle, sukshma form at which all aspirants of spiritual aim, mantra and devata are thus one and in particular forms of Brahman, Shiva, Shakti. A mantra consists of certain letters arranged in definite sequence of sounds, of which the letters are the representative sign, letters of the representative sign. To produce the designed effect, the mantra must be intoned in the proper way. That is important. According to both sound, varna, and rhythm, swara. Mantra, when translated, ceases to be mantra. It says very clearly. And becomes a mere word or sentence. So this is the general background of the mantra. But let us take some examples from Savitri, what mantric poetry could be, to get some little idea, so that we can see what it means. See, for instance, now, ten, 12. It's a very beautiful passage and see the richness of poetry. Our souls can visit in great lonely hours still regions of imperishable light, all seeing eagle peaks of silent power and moon-flame oceans of swift, fathomless bliss and calm immensities of spirit space. These are powerful mantric lines. Our souls can visit in great lonely hours still regions of imperishable light, all seeing eagle peaks of silent power and moon-flame oceans of swift, fathomless bliss and calm immensity of spirit space. Here also in these 4-5 lines, you can see that there is a difference in the quality of each line. The whole passage is mantric, but still each line is different. See, for instance, our souls can visit in great lonely hours. Looks in a plain sense like a narrative. Our souls can visit great lonely hours. Still regions of imperishable light. Suddenly the lift is different. We have gone to some other plane altogether. Still region, it is spiritual line. It is essentially overhead line, of course. Still regions of imperishable light. We can call it illumined mind. All seeing eagle peaks, silent power. This is something inner. The other one was overhead. Now this all seeing eagle peaks, silent power. It is going deep into the heart of us. It has more picture, more occult content in it. This line has more occult content in it. The moon flame oceans, the swift, fathomless bliss is also again occult, but it is more surrealistic than the inner mental. The true surrealism has entered into this line. So you can see the one is overhead, the other is the inner, one into the occult. The lines are again different. And calm immensity, the spirit, the space. Calm immensity, the spirit, the space. As if the line is coming from one end of the infinity, moving in front of us and going to the other end of infinity. Calm immensity, the spirit, the space. Then we have here 99.45. Others escaped from the confines of thought. This is the passage described by Stevan. No, sorry, this is the passage as Savitri is moving from place to place. She is moving from place to place, and she is now entering into the hermitages, the places where there are rishis, there are ashramas, where the spiritual life is being. Others escape from confines of thought to where mind motionlessly is waiting lies above. See this line, where mind motionlessly is waiting lies above. That is the mantric line. Where mind motionlessly waiting lies above. The birth of light is there, it will take place in the meditations. 68.85. Hello, got it? 68.85. Hello, a process of events are there, and nature's plastic and protein chain, and strong by death to slay, or to create the raven, invisible atoms, omnipotent foes. The raven, invisible atoms, omnipotent foes. That is sheer mantra, absolute mantra. The raven, invisible atoms, omnipotent foes. Raven means split, broken, smashed, cracked. So when the atom is broken, what happens? You see the omnipotent force locked in the depths of matter, of atom. The raven, invisible atoms, omnipotent force. This is absolute mantra in Savitri. You see, you can see the difference between this line and other lines. Now, there is little background, so to say, or rather we might interpret something interesting about this line. The raven, invisible atoms, omnipotent force. Raven means smashed, broken. This line was written by Sri Aurobindo in 1942, long before the invention of atom bombs. He saw already the omnipotent force locked in atom, and if it is broken, it can burst out. This can burst out totally. The raven, invisible. So he has already that yogic vision of what is locked in. In 1942, this line was written. This is important. The atom bomb. In fact, in 1942, they had just started building up equipment to carry out what is called a nuclear chain reaction. The graphite reactor was built and commissioned on 2nd December 1942. 1942. Then they saw that the nuclear reaction can be multiplied indefinitely, and that becomes the potential for building up a bomb. In 1942, that was established already. And then the next 2-3 years, the intensive effort was to convert that knowledge into a usable weapon for war. That was the whole occupation at the time. But Sri Aurobindo has already seen this thing in 1942. The raven, invisible atoms, omnipotent force.